Okay, same day, different story. This morning I went ahead and ran the Sunjoe scarifier on the lawn. I went in 2 different directions to get that done, and all things considering, the lawn looks and feels awesome. It just feels better when you walk on it. It looks really good. It doesn't look stressed or anything like that, which is cool, because usually when you do a dethatch, which is what I've done in the past and what I'm used to, the lawn just looks like it just got punched in the face. But with the scarifier, it looks like it didn't put as much of a beating on the grass blades and the crowns itself, and the green is still holding really well. It looks super good. So I'm really happy with how that turned out, and I plan on using that scarifier a lot further down the road and in the future. It'll be a regular thing for me, is what I'm trying to say. Tonight, I've got the aerator here. I'm going to aerate the front yard and the backyard. It's going to be a double pass aeration. I want to talk about some tips with aerators and aerating practices along the way. So lots to do yet and lots to get to. So let's get started. Now, the first tip that I want to make as far as these aerators are concerned is, if you decide to rent these, go in on it with your neighbors and it will be a lot cheaper for you. Rent it for the day and then you get it done, they get it done, and everybody saves money. And then as the years go on, you can contact those same neighbors and you can do it again. So lucky for me, I have a neighbor that actually has one of these. That's where I got this. So maybe that's another tip. Find a neighbor that has one and that's awesome enough to share it with you. Yeah, I'm excited to get this done. So I'll go ahead and get started, and then along the way I'll give you a couple more tips of what I like to do when I aerate and why I like to do it. So getting back to the question, why aerate? So using a mechanical aerator like this, which has hollow tines on the back, pokes holes in your lawn and pulls out small cores, and opening up the soil like that allows for more air, nutrients, water, airflow to get down into the root system where it belongs, and it just makes the grass a lot happier. It allows the grass to kind of relax a little bit, and it just does wonders. I'm a big fan of it. I've seen a lot of benefits from doing it over the years. As you can see, my lawn looks great. It's aerated every fall. The only complaint really is that it kicks your butt, because it's a lot of work. Well, nothing gets done if we just stand here looking at it and talking about it. So let's get to work. Just a couple of things I thought about as I did that. I did a double pass aeration here on the front yard. Now, why 2 passes, you would ask? That's one thing that I want to talk about. 2 passes because twice as many holes. Twice as many holes means twice as much opportunity to get all that good stuff down into the soil, and that's why I do 2 passes. The other thing that I thought about was, do I leave the cores or do I keep the cores? That's a pretty common question that's asked. And it really just depends on, 1, your preference, and 2, your situation. For example, all the cores you see here behind me right now are all coming off the lawn. I have to get them off the lawn for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, I have sand coming tomorrow morning, and I'm not spreading sand with cores out here. Not gonna do it. Second reason is, all of these cores left on the lawn will wreck the reel mower. It will just wreck it. It will dull the blade, it'll ding the blade. Who knows if there's rocks embedded in those cores. Just not good for the mower in general. So I'm gonna remove the cores from the front lawn, and then I'm gonna keep the cores on the back lawn. I'm keeping them there because, 1, it would take me forever to collect all of them because it's just such a big space. And 2, because it's just organic material and it's gonna break down over time as I continue mowing it. So it's not a big deal. You'll see them on there for maybe 2 weeks, and then you won't even know that I was ever there with an aerator. So still lots left to do. I'm enjoying it. I think it's kind of fun to watch all these cores come up out of the soil, but now it's getting them off the lawn. So before I get started on day 2 of this, I just have the backyard yet to finish as far as aeration goes, and then I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next project. But I wanna just give you a couple more tips here before I get started and kind of wrap up this video. The first is, if you can, get the soil a little damp before you start aerating. You'll be able to kind of soften up the soil if you run sprinklers for a few minutes, and it will be a lot easier for those tines to actually pull a good core. Secondly, if you have sprinklers in the ground throughout your yard, get you some flags. You can get these at the Home Depot. You can get a bunch of them for pretty cheap, and then mark off all those sprinkler heads that are going to be in your way. That way you don't damage any sprinkler heads. So that's what I'm going to do now. Just the sprinkler heads that run through the middle of the yard here. Everything else is kind of on the perimeter and out of the way. So I'm gonna mark these off, and then I should be good to go. Well, this concludes my annual butt kicking, and I thank you for watching and hanging out with me, and check out the aerator stripes, huh? Pretty neat. Last thing I want to leave you with is just take advantage of having the soil opened up. Get some fertilizer in there, get some soil amendment in there. It's going right down where it needs to be, and it's just a great time to do that. I'm gonna get to that later. I've got another project ahead of me, and it should be a lot of fun. Make sure you're subscribed, see what I'm doing, and see how things turn out, and just see how things go. So that's gonna do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.